So I am the general counsel at Pfizer Canada in Montreal, and it's the Canadian operation of Pfizer, which is a global biopharmaceutical company. And really, my role in large part is to support a team of four other lawyers and other legal professionals. And I see my role as essentially setting them up for success. To whenever there's issues in the company, I think I have a very good team of lawyers that, my role is somewhat limited to being troubleshooting, to bouncing off of, bouncing ideas, being a sounding board. And then generally also my role is on the Canadian executive team with the other business leaders. And there I am completely removed from the sort of legal scope often and just dealing with business critical issues where I'm very luckily exposed to some very senior leaders and get to participate in decisions that Pfizer makes in terms of its medications and access for patients. I think for me, what I bring to Pfizer is a patient perspective. And I say that because my son's life was saved by a Pfizer medication. My son Tristan has Down syndrome, and when he was born, he was hospitalized for 4 months, a very difficult 4 months, where he had open heart surgery, he had multiple abdominal surgeries, and when he was 7 days old, he received chemotherapy for a temporary form of leukemia. And it was a medication invented by Pfizer. And for me, I think I carry that, with me every time I come to the office. The most critical thing I think of every day are the decisions we're making right for patients? And it's very easy for me to translate that, very quickly to my own experience. And it's not, when you talk more and more to people that you work with in almost any company, but especially a company in the healthcare industry, it's surprising, but at the same time not, how so many people are touched by health issues that we bring, to the table when we work. I have received a lot of good advice over the years, and the one that I think about almost daily is, and it's something that I think a lot of lawyers struggle with, and I struggle with, and I'm still learning, really is to listen to understand, not listen to respond. And I think when we hear, information, I work with some very, very smart people, smarter than me. We have PhDs and doctors and pharmacists. It's a healthcare company, government experts. And I have to always pause in these meetings and think, by far, I'm not the smartest person in this room, and really to hear what people are saying, absorb information, to help make decisions. And I think about many situations in which a better decision came to be, or even no decision. Sometimes the decision is not to take any action, and it's often because I'm trying to actually understand what the person is saying, and it's a skill that I think takes a lot of practice, and I'm still practicing it. I volunteer on the board of what's called the West Island Association for the Intellectually Handicapped. And I largely got involved because of my son who has special needs. But I thought, what I wanted to get out of it, frankly, was a little bit selfish. I always feel, in volunteering just makes you feel good. It triggers that same thing like eating chocolate in your brain. And for me, volunteering, and if you pick the right group, and for me, WIA, which is the acronym, they're in the Montreal community. They're in the community that my office is in. They're in the community that I live in. And their services support my son, support my family. So I serve on the board of directors, and I'm exposed to people who really give up significant portions of their lives to contribute to the community. I learn a lot about operating essentially what is a small business too, with very limited funding, and they have to do so much with that funding. And recently, I was very touched and honored that the group at Pfizer, the legal team and our compliance team, agreed to volunteer, take a day and volunteer at WIA, and we all went. And I was very gratified to see, in people's faces, it was obvious that there was a turning point where they felt what I felt, where you get something personally out of it.